Hi, my name is Rob and I'm a mechanic for cycling team NTT. And as you can see, the service crew is pretty much abandoned, which is not a good sign in the middle of the season. All the bikes are here. All the trucks are here, all the cars are here. Quite sad actually. And in the upcoming videos I will show you which bikes we use, which parts we use and why we use them. I have three bikes here. One is the SLR, the second one is the TMR, the third one is the time machine. The time trial machine, the TMR is more the sprinter bike, the aero bike. The SLR is more the all-round bike, which the guys use in the mountains, in the classics, etc. And well, I want to show you which parts we use and why, and what the riders can choose from, and why they choose it. I will start with the SLR and go by the components one by one. I'll explain you what it is and why we have it like this. So yeah, actually this is the bike of Roman. He rode it in Paris, as you can see. The number plate is still on. We are using the BMC stem on all the bikes. The riders, they can choose either way, an aero handlebar or a normal handlebar in every width from 40 to 46. NV handlebar tape, Shimano Durace Di2 disc group set, complete except for the rotor crank, the power rotor crank with ceramic bearings, also from Rotor, and of course the Tux bottle gauges we cannot miss. In this bike we have put the 3/4 wheels from NV with the ratchet system, high quality stainless steel bearings, and on the wheels there is a Vittoria tire tubular 25mm, which we are using all year round, except for the classics, then we are using 28s. As you can see, we are using 160mm rotors in front and 140 in the rear. For us, this is the best setup concerning brake power and heat. The riders have options to put sprint shifts or satellite shifts. Roman has put it here, so he can shift on the climb, which can be handy if you go full gas. We have the KH mount. There's also a little mount for the BMC stem, but we choose this one for the classics. It's a bit more rigid. And finally, we have the Selle Italia saddle. The riders can pick, of course, out of a range of saddles because it's so personal. And yeah, of course, Selle Italia has proven his name for many years, so the riders are really happy with this also. So this is the SLR. So second up is the TMR, TMR 01. The 01 stands for the 01 carbon, which all the bikes have actually, the SLR and the time machine also. Yeah, this is the bike of Nizzolo, you all know him. Actually, this is the bike where he won the second stage in Paris on. And it's the aero bike, as you all know, the super fast aero bike of BMC. Everything is focused on aero. Even the bottle cages are integrated. The BMC stem, and Nizzolo has the aero handlebar, which comes in handy in the sprint of 55 or 70k an hour sometimes. So this bike has the little higher wheels, the 5/6. So the 5 stands for 50mm and the 6 stands for 60mm, that's the rear. Again with the 25mm Vittoria tire. Nizzolo has the nice Italian flag to support Italy. That's well needed in this time. And he's riding also with the Rotor power crank with a really high, with a really big outer plate. The 56 was a fast sprint in Paris, and that comes with the 42 inner plate. You cannot go lower than that with a big plate like that on the outside. The chain would drop. And of course riding the Italia saddle. A little thing I can say about the gears. Actually the most part of the year we are riding 1130 cassette of Durace, and for the classics we are using 1128. One side is it's a little bit more rigid, and also they don't use the 30 anyway. So for the Cobalt classics we are using 1128. They have the choice of 1132 in really steep arrivals or climbs, but it's seldom used. So this is the TMR. So here we are with the time trial bike of Ben O'Connor, the time machine, the BMC time machine. Yeah, as you can see, super aero. It's proven to be aero. Rowan Dennis was world champion on it last year, so nothing we can say about that. Everything is made to be aero, even the bottle cage. The bottle has little dimples to smoothen the air around it. We can remove it if it's a short time trial, but usually I like it to have it. Ben chose to reverse his handlebar, which is optional. Usually they are a little bit down. For the measurements it's not a big problem, but for us it's always a lot of work to get this bike and to keep it within the regulations of the UCI. As you all know, there are some regulations. For example, the height between the extension and the putt cannot be more than 10 centimeters, down or up, doesn't matter. The saddle must be 5 centimeters behind the bracket, the tip of the saddle. It can be closer, but then the distance from the extension till the bracket can only be 75. Normally it can be 80. And even guys who are taller than 190, they can go to 85. So that's the distance from the bracket to the front of the extension. The angle of the saddle even has regulations. It's plus or minus 9 degrees. Every time trial, every race, the bike will be checked before the race. Otherwise the rider cannot start on it. So usually we go to the pre-check, like an hour before the race. We go to the pre-check with the bike and to make sure it's within the regulations. And then just before the start, the rider will go again to that same check and then start. So just to avoid stress just before the start. Another nice thing to know is that we are riding tubeless, and we made some effort to make tubeless ready disc wheels, which is pretty amazing because it's not easy to make them strong and light and stiff, but they made it. And yeah, this is still a rim brake bike. We are testing a disc brake bike now. Victor is testing it. First feedback is really good. The tubeless is proven to be faster, and it's mostly because there's no friction between the tubular inner tire and the outer casing, and between the tubular and the rim with the glue you use. So it's really a direct connection, and the tire is really thin. We are using these tires of Vittoria. Normally you should use them 100k for in a time trial. That can be maybe 4 time trials and you have to remove it. It has a really thin surface of rubber. So yeah, this is the time trial bike.